Hello there. Just want to update you on the coordinated coercion because it's continuing at quite a pace. My wife, you may recall in the previous video, we've had to battle quite extreme cultural genocide and racism, which has resulted in our younger daughter Polish heritage being erased by South Tyneside Council. The groundwork for them to be able to do that was laid by Rachel Hudson, who during our case proceedings ignored constant warnings about the heritage of our younger daughter being impaired and destroyed. Of course, Hudson went on to accept falsified, unsigned statements and other evidence. And I'm going through a series of videos. I commenced it today, showing you how their achieving best evidence was falsified. My wife, at our Christmas meeting, where we unfortunately had to have a breakfast, we weren't allowed the dignity of a Christmas lunch. We had to have a breakfast at Premier Inn, so much they wanted to degrade our time with our daughter. Reminded her of her heritage, said, "You've got a right as a Polish citizen to speak to the Polish Consulate," provided details of that. Reminded her to be proud of her Polish heritage. And as a result of that, my wife was threatened by Deirdre Ryan, social worker. She was again threatened today about it, and we were told that we can't now pass birthday presents to her in person. That's the punishment when you stand up for racism and corruption in this industry. We know that Adam Lloyd and Northumbria Police lied in the pretext that they used to enter the property and take devices. They even know that I had nothing to do with this alleged vandalism. Their questioning fell apart. It wasn't even investigated at the time. They know very well that I didn't do it. I subjected to physical and psychological abuse in their custody. We now know that the legal team at South Tyneside Council were working with Hudson and the CPS. We know this line of contact now to try to shut down these disclosures. We know this. It's got a tight knit legal team in the area here, as is the case in other areas, which is quite good in terms of if you want to gain insight to it. So we know, Deirdre Ryan, in a recorded meeting, I put to her about this coordinated coercion, where she'd threatened me. It's also a threat by another source as well, by one of their independent reviewing officers via our older daughter, that if I continued with the joint investigations into WealthTek in terms of this corrosive conflict of interest between the regulator and the prosecutor, and how that harms the welfare of the victims of financial scandals, and this appalling trade in children with private equity, which is for profit trade in children, and it's resulting in phenomenal abuses throughout the UK, and we have evidence of that, and we are going to publish it. Police state action or not, nothing will change on that, whatever they do to me. I put it to her that she threatened to deny access to our daughter if we continue with it. Recorded call. She was looked very shamed and put her head down. Didn't even deny it. Richard Middleditch of the FCA, I've made repeated complaints to him about coordinated coercion, about our work, because all this leads into the financial sector. And he said that he emailed and said that I should contact the police and so on and so forth. He knew very well if I did that, and I have done that, they would ignore it. So it's all a red herring. So you can see how bad this system is, and when you start to threaten corruption, you start to expose corruption, both at a regulatory level and some of the activities that are also feeding into the financial sector, this terrible trade in children, same business model that underpins the rape gangs model and the failings there, the rape gang scandal and the failings there. What people do, they've gone to an extreme length to punish us now, where my wife is threatened and told, degraded, that we can't even pass presents to our daughter. We have to do it via a social worker because they're so scared of what she would say, our younger daughter, if she was able to speak to somebody independent. She's a Polish citizen. We reminded her of that. She has access to the Polish Consulate, and look at how they behaved, threatening us and degrading us to the extent that we can't even hand birthday presents to it. So I'm afraid we continue, and I'll continue my process by Rachel Hudson, who I'm apparently harassed, damaged her car, which is complete nonsense. The only harassment with Rachel Hudson and South Tyneside Council and the FCA is we're going to continue exposing this, and we will. That's not harassment, that's fact, and this is in the public interest, and we will continue to do it. How this awful business model is resulting in a trade in children with private equity who want the long-term cash flows that derive from children. It's anti-family. It's emotionally destroying and sterilizing children to fit that business model. And our younger daughter has even had her heritage destroyed to do it. And they don't want people to know this, and the FCA don't want to know how their phony narrative that they acted expediently wasn't true. And they tried to threaten me with non-cooperation because I wouldn't write a witness statement that worked on their time zero assumptions, that wouldn't discuss anything about the FCA before they intervened in WealthTek, which is complete and utter nonsense. If you're going to discuss the allegations, you have to discuss the failings. It all leads to the financial sector. It's corruption. It's no place in the financial sector, and you've seen what happens. I've suffered police state terror. We've suffered blackmail, emotional abuse, access to our daughter. Now they want to degrade us. All these institutions, that we can't even pass presents to our daughter for standing up for her heritage and challenging the fact that their achieving best evidence was unsigned and the witness hadn't even seen it. This is a corruption of an extraordinary scale, and we will continue, and I will never, ever, ever give up. Take care. Bye.